Well, you
I'll
know
shoot
I'm a
it to you
train
again.
wreck with
Listen, I
everything that's
know.
going on out here. Dude, I cannot function. I don't even know what is going on.
Well, hey,
Whatever
twin.
energies that are going on, when I tell you, like, I'm barely functioning. The fact that I'm actually sitting here right now is a damn near miracle.
So what the fuck is that? Hold on. What is it?
Welcome to These Are the Times Illuminate. I'm Erica Perrott, and today we are joined with a special guest, Miss Tia Dowler, and I can't wait to share this conversation with you in footage. Strap in.
Listen, I understand this. So you know what? Let's help the community understand what we mean when we say we're a wreck. The energy is everywhere. Guys, welcome. I'm Erica Perrott. This is Illuminate, and today I have a really cool guest. You guys have seen her and I on Facebook doing things together, Instagram, but today, y'all, my girl and I have to have a really heart-to-heart conversation with you all about a topic. Y'all might know about it, you might not, but I'm sure you've already seen my shorts going around about what is it. So today, we're just here to talk about our experiences with, well, what is it? What are they? So let's welcome today Miss Tia Dowler in Georgia.
Hey guys, hope everybody is having a great day today. I'm so excited about this topic. Erica, you have been such a huge source of knowledge and guidance for me because this is a topic that, I am, my degrees are in science, biology, chemistry. I taught high school biology, taught astronomy, all that stuff. But when you're on the other end of not the teaching end of it and you're experiencing things that it's like, okay, I know my mind's not playing tricks on me and I'm like completely sober and I'm seeing that you just start to, it's really difficult, I think, to process. So I am so excited about this topic because you've enlightened me immensely on this. So thank you for that.
Well, you are welcome. And, thank you for sharing it with me because, okay, so to give you guys a little bit of a backstory, before I knew Tia was encountering and seeing the glowing things that we call orbs, we don't know what they are. I mean, we're here on Earth. Our best guess, it's an orb. That's where we're at right now with it. But I didn't know she was seeing them. She didn't know I was seeing them. And about 6 weeks before the crash here in Philly, I was seeing these things all over the sky. It was crazy because every time I would encounter them, I was driving. And I was like in the thick of driving, couldn't get a good video, couldn't get a good anything. Because, it's like, okay, I can't pull over. Let's just see what we get, and later on down the road, I finally stopped, looked, and be like, that was nothing. And then after the crash, and after Tia was like, okay, guys, I got to tell you some things that's been going on with me in my house. I was like, oh, look, we're having a similar experience. Let's talk about it. So I started seeing them, like I said, 6 weeks before. Tia, when did you start seeing the nice, cool, shiny things in the sky?
So things started happening for me. I started noticing. So November 15th of 2024 was the night of the big super beaver moon. And this moon was incredible. So my next door neighbors that live right next door to us. They're our best friends. Their backyard was illuminated. My husband comes in, he goes, Tia, you have got to see the Lennox's backyard right now.
I don't want to be aggressive. There's two. And he's just eating food, not a care in the world. Hi! Oh my gosh, it got so bright.
You are so pretty. And you are coming closer. This is super cool. Wowza. Oh my goodness. Wow. Thank you. Thank you.
And it looked like it was a football field, like a football stadium with like stadium lights, the way it was shot, like it was crazy. And they weren't home, they were out of town. And I'm like, I'm gonna get this picture, show them how cool their backyard looks. Well, in that photo, I captured, like, there were no lights around, it's no lens flare. I've had experts in like photography look at my photos to prove that it's like not light flares or anything like that, but I captured like a bunch of orbs. Well, at the time I didn't really pay attention, but it wasn't until the next day, November 16th, was when I started to experience things with my lamp right back there where I'm pointing and seeing things primarily up in the sky, like higher up. So it was really November 16th of 2024. And I had sent that photo to my neighbors and they were like, what in the world did you capture? And so, but it wasn't until, so from November 16th of 2024 to January 10th of 2025, I kept quiet. My best friend, we never spoke to anybody. Like I was seeing things and capturing things. It wasn't until January 10th, we got a big snow here in Georgia, which is very rare. And so we're outside in my front yard. Got our sleds and we're going down the street and everything. And I'm standing there with my best friend. And so from November 16th to now we're at January 10th, I had kept quiet. Like I'd been seeing things, but I just never really, and I was taking videos and photos, but I'm like, who do I show this to? Like, who do I talk? Like, you know, you just don't want to come across as like what's going on, you know? And so we're standing out in the snow and my best friend was like, Tia, I have to show you. She goes, I'm not crazy. She goes, I'm completely sober. She goes, but I've been capturing some really cool videos and photos that are kind of like, that are over your house and in your backyard. When I tell you that every hair on my body stood up, it did. And I was like, and so she starts showing me her phone and she goes, are you okay? And I'm like, I said, Lala, I said, I've been videoing these and capturing these since November the 16th. I said, I just didn't want to say anything to you because I thought that you maybe would think that I was like a nut job or something, you know? And so we just started comparing videos and we literally had the same videos, obviously from two different angles because she lives next door and, you know, and so we've got two angles of videos. I mean, when I tell you that we have hundreds, it's probably in the thousands now of videos between the two of us that we have captured. You can't deny it. You can't make it up. And now it's to the point where, you know, my husband in January 16th, actually 6 days later, because he was making fun of us. He's like, oh, are y'all out there looking for aliens and stuff? Wow. January 16th, she sends me a video. So now keep in mind though, all of these videos and the captures that we have recorded have been pretty high up. Now, my backyard is 1.5 acres of all Georgia pines, very tall. It's just wooded. There's nothing back there, woods. We sit on a private lot. There is a rock quarry that's kind of behind us that is a working rock quarry, but it's just massive land of just a rock quarry. And I think there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of activity that's going on back there based on the videos that, you know, she and my neighbor and I have captured. So on January the 16th, my husband and I are at Blake's, my son's basketball game, and it was 7:42 in the evening. And my best friend sent me a video, and it was right over. She goes, "Tia, look what I just captured." And you can see these orbs floating. This was the very first time that I saw them like down, like into the trees. So basically from November sighting to January 10th, that's when I was seeing like Bethany Frankel and TikTok. I just got on TikTok, so I'm very, very new to TikTok, but I just was really utilizing it more of like, what are people seeing? Because we're the news now, right? So everybody has a little computer in their hand. Oh, and look at my
and it's 10
yeah. So
anyway,
yeah, so everybody has phones now that you're recording, like people are recording things, like we're getting stuff in real time now. So I started seeing hundreds and thousands of these orbs, drones, whatever, you know, just all over TikTok. But every ones that I was seeing were like way high up. Right. So on January 16th, Laura sent me a video from my backyard over my trees, and they were literally right in the trees.
That was not the moon. I know. They're everywhere.
Hey guys.
Hi. Baby, even it that's hysterical. That is not the moon. I know that, but trust me, when you see right now that there are 6 craft surrounding it, yeah, baby.
And so I'm watching the video, and my husband's kind of now getting a little interested, and I'm like, look, honey, I'm like, this is our trees right in our yard, you know? And so he's getting a little bit more interested, and I'm like, and it wasn't dark. I mean, this was 7:42 p.m., so it wasn't like really dark at the time.
Right.
And the fact that you're seeing it in sort of, you know, a partial daylight, right? So we get home, and my husband was like still skeptical at the time and stuff. And, you know, because I think our mind, like human nature, we always want to be like, okay, well, there's a reason for this. Like we want to be able to explain everything, right? Like that's human nature to do that. So that night, it was late at night. We got home late. My husband is out back with the dog, and I'm sitting on the couch, just fooling on my phone. He runs in like a bat out of hell, and he goes, "Oh my God, Tia, I saw one." And I was like, "What?"
Oh, he got his own experience.
Yeah. So I go out, and he positions me. Dude, when I tell you, it's at eye level. I'm 5'3", he's 6'1", 6'2". I mean, it is at eye level in our woods. Like our backyard is just 1.5 acres of just woods, just floating right there in the woods. We saw several of them, and the video that I captured it was really interesting that, you know, he got to experience, like it wasn't me saying, "Oh my gosh, come out here and look at this." He saw it and got me. So, and now, you know, I'll be on FaceTime with my family in West Virginia, and they respond. They'll respond. You can actually talk to them, and it will say things like, you know, flash once, you know, or flash twice, or we'll ask questions, and they're responsive.
Do you want me to stop videoing
flash once for yes. 2 for no. I can't tell if that's a yes or a no. Do you want me to stop videoing? Once for yes and 2 for no. Okay, I'm gonna ask it again. I'm having a hard time. Do you want me to stop videoing? Flash. Well, you know I'm videoing and you're still allowing me. I don't know why you wouldn't if you're going to be disclosing yourself soon. I don't know why you wouldn't allow me to do that. Hi. Hello. I want to see where you're...
And they'll change colors. I mean, it's, you know, it's phenomenal. But, you know, as a scientific minded person, it's like, okay, as if I was a high school biology teacher, like, how would I teach this in school, you know?
Right. Because, I mean, to teach it, especially in science, it's all about that tangible and what you can touch and also, you know, give that visual. So yeah, how do you begin to break this down? Like,
exactly.
I know that. Yeah. I remember when you first messaged me, it was crazy because when you said it, I was like, oh, so now I'm going to be forced to have the conversation because I can't sit here and act like I don't know what she's talking about. And it was crazy because for a moment I was downplaying it as, oh, it's just those drones. Because the very first time I saw it, it wasn't quite dark yet. And, you know, I'm on 95 headed into Center City. And in that region of the sky's always active with planes, helicopters. You got the Navy Yard. You've got 2 airports here, right? So it's not uncommon to see things moving in the sky, but it was the way this thing was moving. So like as I'm driving and it's dead ahead of me, it just decides it's going to change course and it's like, zoop, zoop. I'm like, you're not a plane, you're not a star. I was like, so what the hell are you? So then after the crash happened here, which was, so January 31st was the crash. You and I think finally had kind of talked about it right before the crash. You brought it up and I had seen a few of your videos and like every video you had sent me, I promise you, hairs were standing up, chills, or I was like, my whole body would get hot. And I'm like, okay, so you're going to have to talk about this. Like you're going to be deep diving here. So then it was crazy because after you and I started talking about it, it was like, it ramped up for me. Like it went, okay, so now let's show you what we can do. And I saw one the other night. There were 2 of them.
So I just watched that thing right there fly across that thing right there, whatever the fuck that is. Yeah, like they passed paths. Yeah, as I was driving.
I know you normally have a bunch, but I've only had like a single one hanging out, and it's like I can find it no matter where I am in the city. But the other night I had 2 hanging out, and like they were traveling really fast and like crossed each other's path to the point that as I'm driving, I'm like, wait, are y'all gonna hit each other? We don't need another crash.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, enough things have crashed to Earth. What are y'all doing right now? Like, pick a lane. Somebody like get out of the other one's way. And like it was crazy because I'm driving and I'm literally like, don't hit each other, please.
Yeah, that is so funny.
So you know, I need you to tell people what you did though, because I don't know that most people would have done this when they first saw them. And I wonder if this has contributed to your level of activity.
Well, I'll go out into my woods. Like I literally will go walk towards them and stuff because when I tell you that they are eye level, they're in in the trees and like by the, the tree stump, all the things. I mean, they are like low. I mean, I'll go out there and kind of get a little close to them, but like, not too close. But I will tell you the one that, in my opinion, that I think is most impressive because human nature, people want to say, oh, well, that could have been this or that could have been that. Like I think it's really hard for people to process things that they're not familiar with seeing on a regular basis. So they want a reason for it. So for me, I think the most impressive one was the one that I captured on February the 12th of this year. It's over on my TikTok it was like at 6 o'clock at dinner time. Like it was bright in broad daylight.
There's nothing out there but just no trees. Just wish I had answers. Oh, now can you get brighter? Can you get brighter and big? It's like you're trying to talk. It's so odd.
It was like 6:27 p.m. broad daylight.
Yes.
So my daughter, my number 4, had just gotten into a car accident. She was okay, and I was out in my backyard. Any of the others that I had seen had been at night. So the skeptics could be like, oh, well, maybe that could have been this or that could have been that, whatever. Think whatever you want. This one on February 12th, there is no denying it whatsoever. I was standing in my backyard with my dog as she was out running around, and I was praying. I am a Christian. I was telling my husband last night, I said, I think I'm a cosmic Christian. I don't know what that is, and if that is even a name. I said, but I'm going to make that up. I'm going to be like, that's what I'm going to dub myself because
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I am a Christian and everything too, but God, if he made, I don't know why people are so quick to dismiss like anomalous kind of things, because it's like if God created the universe and everything, go read Ezekiel, Daniel, Isaiah. I mean, they all had witnesses, testimonies in the book, the Bible, of seeing these types of things and stuff too, So it's like, okay, well, you're not believing me, but it's all like right here in the Bible as well. So, okay, make that make sense. So on February the 12th, it's like 6:27 p.m. and I'm outside with my dog. My daughter had just gotten into a wreck and I was praying. I was like, God, thank you so much that, that you saved her, that she didn't get hurt and, all this stuff. And at that moment, as I prayed, I looked up and it was right in the tree. And it was probably about this big around in the tree, just like it was the whitest white. You can see the video on my TikTok, but seeing it in person, like they don't translate in.
It's not the same.
Phone. No,
yeah,
it's not
the same.
There are colors that I have never even seen. And I mean, when I was a kid, the thing that I looked forward to every year was getting a huge box of crayons with the sharpener in it.
That had every color under the sun. That was my
favorite. I'm like, woo, that was. But all of there's colors that you've never even seen with the human eye. Like I can't even explain what these colors are. But this particular one was bright white. It was the whitest I've ever seen. And it was like glitter. It was like the shiniest glitter of just And it was just like this, and I felt this peace coming over me. And as I was thanking God that, my daughter was injured and all the stuff. And it was just, I just started filming, and it just let me film. And sometimes they don't, like, I'll start filming and then they just vanish, go away. But this one just, in all of its glory in the trees, was just floating there in this bright light. Like, it was just, for me, it was kind of a confirmation that it was like, okay, everything's going to be okay. And it was beautiful. So that one, to me, you can't deny at all.
So let me ask you this. Do you think, because now guys, I got to tell y'all something. She did something that most humans probably wouldn't do when she first encountered these. She actually said to them, "You're safe here."
Oh yeah, that's right. I wasn't sure where you wanted me to go. Walking into the room and talking to him.
No, you're good, because I was like, whether she gets it or not, I'm circling back to it, because this is so important here, I feel, because what you invite, you then really open yourself up to an experience. And I know most of us are familiar with like the horror movies, vampire movies, like, oh, your vampire can't come to your house unless you invite it. So energy is energy, and yes, but Miss Tia here she was like, you're safe. Do you think that when you did that, you set yourself up for this bombarding? Like, is that when you think it got
100%.
more? Okay.
100%. Yeah. I think, I've always been a very open-minded person. I don't align with people who are closed-minded. I don't align with people who are just very surface, one-dimensional. Like, I'm a very inquisitive person. I'm just very curious, ask a lot of questions. I've even been that way, as a child. I'm just very, very curious. I just want to know why. Okay, well, explain that to me, which is probably why I'm science-minded and went into that line of, that career path. But absolutely. So the night of January 16th, like, we were so excited after my husband had actually seen them, and there was a couple of them, and they were responding and coming closer, like the colors. And then when I went back and watched my video, because I honestly he just positioned me where he was seeing them, and I just started filming. So I really didn't know where I was looking. And it wasn't until after we played back the video to see all of the, like, that capture. It's over on my TikTok as well, the colors. And it kind of reminded me of, like, if you're in the aquarium and you're watching the jellyfish and the beautiful, like, the neon colors and how they move kind of like an amoeba, sort of. That's kind of how it was. So of course I was excited, because my husband had now experienced, and he realized, oh, we got something going on here, right? And so it's like 11:30 at night. I'm in my pajamas. I'm like, Lala, open your side door. I'm coming up. So I came up. I showed her the video and everything. And she's just like, my capture, that's the first time that I've ever known my best friend to be speechless. And she was speechless. So then we had our phones down. Yeah. And so we go out on her backyard. So keep in mind, this particular night of January 16th, she had sent me that video at 7:42 p.m. of the orbs that were, like, in between our trees, between our yards, that were low. That was the first time that I had seen that they were so low. Well, then my video later that night, they were at eye level. So we were like, because we had never seen them so low, because you go to TikTok, all the videos, you're seeing way up in the sky, and you're seeing them, far away, like so far away. Ours were so close. And so we go up there, and I said, okay, the video that you sent me earlier tonight, where were you standing? So we go in her backyard, and she's showing me, and I was like, wow, I'm like, I can't even believe that they were so low. Well, then me being the goofy person that I am, we're standing out there, and I go, Orbs, and I just start talking to him. I'm like, come back and play. We want to see you again. You're welcome here. When I'm just being a smart ass, okay? I'm just like, come back. We want to see a light show. It was, you're welcome here. Come on. And come out. And when I said come out and play, as God is my witness, and we have to get Lala on the next podcast, because God is my witness.
We definitely do.
As soon as I said that, Erica, our jaws dropped. hundreds, like you could not count them. You couldn't count them. Just showing up, just right at the trees, just like this, just moving like the jellyfish, just hovering
that
right
is
there.
So it is so crazy and cool. And like,
I've never seen that with her. And you know, my best friend, she vibrates very, very high. Like we're very, very high energy type people and stuff.
Yep.
And you know, and I don't even really know what that means. I just know that I've been like a magnet my whole life. Like people drain my energy. I'm a very high energy, I don't know. I don't even know the right words. You know all the words for them, but I know that I've been that way my whole life.
Yeah, you were truly a vessel.
Yeah, and she is too, and she's also a Christian, cosmic Christian. So we're both very, very aligned. Like in our frequencies, like the two of us together are like, it's hard with the two of us together because we're a lot. In a good way, not in a bad way, but I mean, we just have a lot of energy and we feed off of each other and stuff. And so we're standing there. And when I tell you there were hundreds of them, we were like, and I looked at her and I said, I've never seen that before. I said, and I'm literally like, I mean, I'm telling you, this is like 11:30 at night. I'm in my pajamas getting ready for bed. Like I'm sober. Like there was like, and I'm like looking at her and I'm like, did you just see what she goes, yeah. And I said, have you ever seen that many? She goes, no. So then they just kind of go away. And we were just like, and it wasn't like that they lasted for a very long time, but we saw them and there was too many to count. And then we're standing there and she's hugging me like she's like having somebody who's a best friend, who's become family, build a house right next door to you. Our sons are friends. Like it is the biggest blessing. Like we're so close. She's 6 feet tall. I'm 5'3". So I'm just, you know, like standing there. She's towering
just hanging out.
Me. Yeah. And so we're standing there and she puts her hand around my waist and hugging me. And she goes, Tia, she goes, this is so cool. She goes, I am so happy that we are experiencing this together, like that you see it too, like, you know. And at the moment that she said that, we both at the same time in unison go like that, and our arms literally in unison. Right above one of my tallest trees in my backyard was the biggest white, just like I had explained in that other video that I had seen when my daughter had gotten into a car accident. It was that bright, glittery white, like blinding white. The biggest one that we had ever seen, hovered just for a few seconds. It dropped about 5 feet. You see the streak. It dropped, just literally just went straight down and disappeared. And we were like this and just frozen, like, yeah. I mean, like, it just, and we see these things when there's a positive confirmation, you know, like.
So for you, it has been showing up positive confirmation. It's
been very, very positive. And that's why I keep telling, you know, my friends and my family members who are devout Christians who are telling me that, you know, Satan is the master deceiver and all this stuff. And I get that. But I'm telling you, when my dad passed away a little over a year ago. The moment that my dad passed away, you know, I made it to West Virginia at the nick of time, got into hospice, got to say everything that I needed to say to him. 15 minutes later, I saw him take his last breath. And when I tell you, like, people have experiences of when you watch a loved one pass on, this is the first time I'd ever seen anybody, you know, like just completely pass on, and to be right there, you know.
Right.
And, you know, my dad breathed on this earth for 85 years. I got to see the last one, the very last one. And
right.
A lot of people have
something about
these.
That.
There is. And I knew it. Like, I felt it. Like, I had chills even just talking about it, because it's like I'm back there.
You got me over here buzzing.
Like, people have these, like, I don't have any gifts per se. I don't see spirits. I don't like, you know, I've had divine intervention things from, you know, God, like, you know, in my past. And I think that, you know, as a Christian, we're given signs all the time. Some people are more sensitive to them than others. And, you know, when you talk about angels and, you know, all of that stuff, but I didn't see anything. But when he took his last breath, when I tell you that it was electrical, That's all I can tell you. I didn't witness anything. I didn't see anything. Like, I didn't see his body, none of that. All I'm saying is that I felt it. So I think that I'm very, very sensitive, obviously, to energy. But ever since that moment, that's when things have really, really changed for me. And it's been very, very positive, to the point where, I don't know. I mean, I just feel like it's very angelic. I was never an Area 51, but person, I mean, I'm not that egotistical to think that we are the only intelligent life forms out there. Like, for anybody to actually think that is absurd to me. I mean, we don't even know we haven't even mapped our own galaxy, let alone all the other galaxies. And
let's not even begin with the ocean.
Exactly. Well, I mean, we've only mapped 20% of it, which means 80% of the ocean we have no idea. And NASA started in the ocean, by the way, and they saw something. They never went back. So, I mean, I don't know. All I know is that for me, it's been a very, very positive experience, but a lot of it's been very heightened since my dad died. That's kind of why I brought that in there, because it's the moment that I saw him take his last breath, it was very, very electrical. And there's been a lot of things, and I will tell you, there was about 2 weeks of when I started seeing these orbs that I was questioning. I was like, okay, well, I mean, is it demonic? Is it, whatever? And, but, like, as a Christian, like, I know that, we're not supposed to be distracted. We've got to keep our eye on, our faith, God. For me, it's the Bible, whatever people choose. But I can tell you that during this whole experience, it's made my relationship has been closer. I have been closer to God with this, because I look at this and I think, wow. I mean, every single day I go outside and I'm like, God, thank you for creating. Sorry, lost
You're
an
good.
earbud.
You're good. It happens.
But no, I mean, I look at it and I think, wow, thank you, God, for you are the most amazing artist for giving us this beauty and this the wonders. Like, how, like, just go outside, guys. Like, for me, like, the past few months of seeing these has been the most positive experience. I think I appreciate things a lot more. I appreciate the wonders of creation, like, just everything. Like, so it's been extremely positive for me. I don't feel anything negative at all. And and I see them at times when I feel like I need to see them. Does that make sense? Does that sound weird?
No, that makes complete sense, because it's kind of like I didn't get put in a position to take a great picture or video until I was put in the position. No matter how much I tried and wanted to and thought I knew what I was saying, it was like, I want to talk about this now. It was like I couldn't do it until I was given that position to do it. And for me, it happened February 12th, finally, standing on the train platform after finally coming back from Fashion Week. And I'm standing there, I'm like, oh, got you. I was like, because I'm not driving now. I was like, watch me get a good video.
Yeah.
So for me, it's been predominantly positive as well. But it's crazy, because you brought up a really good fact, or a really good perspective there, when you said it's brought you closer in your relationship, and you just see these beauties and the thankfulness.
Yeah.
And it brought to memory something that an old psychology professor said one time in a class. No two people are going to use the same experience the same way. Just like you and I both could have been twins, grew up in an alcoholic father, and one might say, I watched my father, that's why I'm not the way I am. The other might say, I watched my father, and that's why I am the way that I am.
Yep.
So it's all in how you move through that experience too. So let me ask you this: outside of your lamp going haywire a little bit, and I know that you said there were times that it messed with your phones as well. Like, I know your best friend had it where it like completely zapped her energies.
She had to get a new iPhone. Yeah, she had to get a new iPhone. Sometimes, she'll be.
So it really did kill her.
Filming. It did, and it's done mine too. Like, I never, I mean, I work from my phone, so my phone always has a full charge, and I never let my phone ever die, ever. And so one night I was out filming because they were just so pretty, and it was just, the sky was gorgeous and everything. And it just completely just zapped my phone. I mean, drained the battery completely. And I had a full charge. And it's done that to her, my best friend, now like 2 or 3 times. And in fact, she even had to replace her phone. It like fried her iPhone. So
that is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, it's the energy. But
energy is energy.
Believe Wi-Fi. People believe in Wi-Fi, right?
And Bluetooth.
But
Yeah.
then they don't believe in what
wave.
they're seeing. It's like you're seeing the balls of energy. I mean, the human body, we are energy. I mean, the circulatory, so the nervous system, the synapses, like all of that, like we are energy.
Yeah. Like when people say, "Oh, I have ear issues," I'm like, "How are the crystals in your ear?" And they just look at me, "You're a crystal, bro." Like,
yeah.
what?
Well, we have all humans. We have crystals like right here.
Our
You can
pineal
actually,
gland.
Yeah. There's we all have them. There are crystals right in here. You know, have you ever seen people when they take a bobby pin and the magnet and it just sticks right there because there's the crystals that are in? Yeah.
So it's all about your electromagnetic field. So let me ask you this. Do you think that it has brought your online community closer, or has it helped you find another level of schism that you didn't realize were present with your online followers, fans?
I would
family?
think a little. I say it's probably a combination of both, and it's also opened the door to a whole other new community, because I feel that people who have experienced these kind of things, because there's so many now. Like my experience is it's not really unique. I mean, it's unique to me, but it's there. So many people. I mean, just go to TikTok and just type in Orb up. I mean, there's people are seeing them all the time. I mean, I'm even getting like friends from West Virginia, from all over, sending me their own videos. And so we're comparing videos. So, I mean, we're not the only ones that's seeing them. It's just it's like, how do we make sense of it? I don't have the answers. I don't know how to make sense of it, but I do know that it's opened the doors to people that I want to, like, I've gotten to the point where I'm too old for forced interactions and meaningless conversations. Like, I don't want to talk about surface and chit chat and stuff. Like, I want to talk, deep level. Do you have any regrets? If you could go back in life, what things of your childhood shaped who you are, How often do you and your spouse have sex? I mean, I want to talk about deep things,
Let's talk about the real things.
Yeah, like, I'm 53 now. I don't want to talk about surface stuff. I don't have time for that chit chat. And so, like, the other night at my daughter's engagement party here at the house, me and so my other best friend, Hannah, she has seen them as well. So me, Hannah, and Lala standing there. We're talking about the orbs and stuff. Well, I bought a pair of binoculars, celestial binoculars. And so they were on a side table. So one of the groomsmen, he picks up the binoculars. And so at the party, I said, hey, it was dark. I said, hey, go out in the backyard. I said, you can use those. I said, in case you want to see any orbs. And he goes, what's an orb? He goes, what's an orb? And so Hannah, my other best friend, she goes, oh, Jesus, fuck. And turns around, turns her back on him.
Like, man, we can't school you. It's too much info.
No, we're not having that conversation. So it's actually weeded out who the people that I can have deep, meaningful conversations with versus those. And not that one is better than the other. It's just they're different,
There's one that you prefer now.
Yeah, I don't choose to have the little chit chat talking about the weather and then just surface stuff. I just don't. It doesn't align with me anymore. I want to talk about the deep things and stuff, And
listen, this is why you're my people.
Yeah,
I know it. I know this.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
So, okay. Do you think? Okay, let me ask you this: if you could go back to that day that you were welcome, you're safe here, would you do anything differently?
No, I wouldn't. No, I'm
That's
glad that
interesting.
yeah, because I have no fear. There's nothing, no, because things happen the way they're supposed to happen. Like, I mean, I try to live my life very authentically, and, I have no filter, and just, I just kind of go with the flow of things and how I feel. And, and that's how I felt at the time. So obviously that was meant for me to, say what I said to him and just communicate. And, um, no, I wouldn't change a thing. And I mean, I just think they're pretty incredible, honestly. I just would like to, what I would like to know is, why do you think, because now it's gotten to the point where I have so many of my friends messaging me. They're like, Tia, I want to see him. I want to see him too, Like, why do you think some people, like, why do you think, like, me, you, and Lala, we're like, we see them all the time now versus other people never seeing them? Why do you think that is?
So I highly believe it goes into the great earth split that's happening. And for so many years, we've heard, whether we were really, really tuned into hearing that or not, we heard it in passing about how there's timeline shifts and there's multiple things happening. And then as we progressed, we then got the what I like to call the man-made psyops, the Mandela effect, which,
oh yeah, that's wild,
right? And I feel the Mandela effect was the ushering in of the manifestation in the physical of, you're going to choose your reality while it's playing. And I feel that that's why certain people have not and will not see them, because it's not just about the naked eye, it's about all your eyes. And if you're not all attuned to this channel or this reality, or the fact that multiple realities are happening at once, you're playing through them all potentially, you're not going to see that, because you've created your reality. You have tuned yourself into where you are comfortable, right? You're either comfortable expanding or not. So in the great split and timeline shift, people are now seeding into their pick. So you picked, I'm going to evolve. I don't have a closed mind. I'm here to question and prove me wrong, please, or prove me right. Either way, I'm not going to be upset about it. Just show me the clarity. Whereas someone else is, the world is against me. The world is a horrible place. There's all kinds of bad things happening. So that's going to be the reality they see. Now, might they see something that comes from the sky? Probably, but it's not going to be a positive experience for them, most likely, because that's not the reality that they're creating. That's not the timeline or the energies they're walking in. So I think that's why a lot of people aren't seeing them. And I also think it's because what you feel, what you think is what you produce. So while a lot of people say with their mouth, I want to see one, their heart and soul is like, their heart and mind is like, but what if we see one and it's like, it's not a good thing? And so they're fighting themselves. So they're keeping themselves from their experience.
That makes sense.
Kind of like, I want a relationship, but then back in them,
Right.
So it's talking out of both sides. So therefore, they're just going to be in limbo. Like, and they may have seen them and just, it didn't even click. They're like, oh, it's a star. It's a bright night. Because like you said, the human mind has to make sense of things. Like that is
but stars don't move. Stars don't move. This is one thing. Like there are some people though that, so one of the videos, so Lala took a video in my backyard, literally in my backyard. You are seeing like smoke. You're just seeing the line, and it is going straight down into the ground.
Okay, now I have to share something with you. Really crazy. Okay, hang on. Like, I'm sitting here looking at it. This sucker. Okay, so, like that one in Las Vegas, that portal? So today, I'm at the kitchen table and I look out my window and I see what looks to be like one of those in the tree line, and it's coming towards me. So,
Okay.
Is this the one you sent me during the day?
Yeah, like there's no plane.
Yeah.
There's no plane attached to it. Nothing's attached to it. We had several videos. You can blow it up, I'm telling you. And it was probably 50 feet above her house. Planes don't fly. We live next to, I live next to the Atlanta airport close by, which is the busiest, largest airport in the country. Okay, we see planes all the time. Not dumb. I know exactly what a plane is. Planes are not flying around 50 feet above our homes. Okay.
No.
Have videos of it. And even a guy over on my TikTok, because I shared her videos because she's not really on social media like I am. So she lets me use her videos. And the one that was going straight down in the backyard, dude was like, that's a plane. That's a plane. I'm like, when have you ever seen a plane go straight down at a 90-degree angle if it's not crashing? And it was in my backyard. So it's like,
and if it crashed,
people that like, I don't know if they just want to make you try to like feel stupid or whatever, but it's just like, okay, buddy, think whatever you want to think. But when have you ever seen a plane not go like this or like this? You know, planes do not go straight. Like they just don't unless they're crashing. So I think
exactly, or they're at an exhibition show, and that's part of it. And but
this was not a plane. I mean, it was like literally in my backyard and no sound, no sound. So
broad daylight.
I mean, broad daylight. So I mean, it's just, I don't know. They're just becoming a lot more visible. I mean, there are way more videos. I mean, I would say from this past November. So we're talking little like 3.5 months. So in the last several months, I would say the videos of people capturing all over the country has increased at least 75% from the past few months.
I would say you're right on that statistic because was that Taiwan? Or where was that? Somewhere in one of the Asian countries, they had a big sighting and the government actually came out and said, we're going to look into this. I think it was you that might have sent me that creator's TikTok, because she was like, leave it to the US, they're banning everything. She was like, but at least they're doing it right. They're telling them, we'll be keeping you posted. There was something here.
Even Israel came out and was like, the US government's not telling you, but we've gotten, alien crafts and, this and that. And then, I was never like an Area 51 alien kind of person, but again, like I said, I'm not egotistical enough to think that we are the only intelligent life forms in the galaxy. We don't even know what's even in our galaxy. So for anybody to completely automatically dismiss and say, no, this is not real. I mean, you think for a second the government, I mean, come on, 1947, Roswell, there are so many whistleblowers coming out, black ops people that were on different missions, crash retrievals. There's just too much that, now we've got Anna Paulina Luna, who is heading the Disclosure Task Force. The UAP, UFO stuff. This has been going on, testimonies for a long time.
Decades.
Look up Nuremberg 1562, the celestial, all of that. Come on, look in the Bible. So for people, you want to believe in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, but then you don't want to believe in stuff that you're literally seeing, and then someone tried to, somebody tried to tell you, oh, it's a drone. No, because they refuse. And I just, I don't know. But again, I was never like, the fact that I'm now like the words Galactic Federation are coming out of my mouth.
Listen, we have officially become those people. I never saw myself being this person, right? But here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are.
I even made myself. Yeah, I made myself an aluminum foil hat, a tinfoil hat the other night. What?
I need you to understand. I'm going to use the tinfoil hat, one of those pictures you sent me, as the thumbnail for our.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Because we need that. we need that kind of energy over here. Because,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't know anymore. You know, people will be like, Eric,
Well,
what
we
do you
grew
think?
up
I'm
in
like,
West
I don't.
Virginia.
We
No, we
did.
grew up in West Virginia with Mothman. If anybody knows the whole history of Mothman, and I was never invested in it at all. I mean, I've been to the Mothman Museum. It's not far from my hometown, you know, all the things. and
Numerous
stuff.
times. I've done the Mothman tour myself.
But now, as an adult, as a critical thinker, open-minded person, and I'm listening to all these podcasts, there's a really good podcast also called Haunted Cosmos, and they're Christians, and their take on everything is amazing. They had a 2-part series of Mothman. It's stuff that I didn't even growing up that I'm like, oh, I'm just learning about. So it's how at the end of the day, how can you have so many people, eyewitnesses, and people not knowing each other, have the exact same experience, the exact same witness, the exact same account, and dismiss it? You can't dismiss it.
No, you're right. And what's crazy for me is this is what I keep going back to. Like, and I've said it to you in our text messages before, because now I have 2 that hang out like over my home. like they're always there over my home.
Right.
Like I can pretty much guess which direction where it's gonna be before I walk out. And it's crazy because as I'm looking at it, I'm like, is this the same one Tia's seeing in this exact moment?
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, we're seeing the same moon. We see the same damn moon, right? So am I seeing the same orb you're seeing? Like, so it just gets my mind going.
Yeah.
Right? So yes,
absolutely.
I feel like you and I have definitely crossed the threshold into Galactic Federation.
I mean,
we're just playing Earthlings at this point.
Yeah. Well, you know, and going back to, I will say that like for 2 weeks, remember I had about 2 weeks where I was like, I don't know if this is a good sign. Are these good? Is this bad?
Yes.
Is it like,
I do remember
I'm a Christian. I'm not turning away from my Christianity. Like, you know, I questioned it for about 2 weeks. It wasn't until I saw the Sean Ryan podcast who featured Chris Bledsoe, who is a devout Christian, and all of like he literally summons the lights, and he's had all these different encounters and stuff. I mean, his book is UFO to God. Like, I highly recommend your following.
I have heard that book.
Yeah.
All right. I'll get that link
his testimony.
in there.
I actually reached out to him. I started following his daughter. She's a musician. His whole family has had like massive encounters. Like they're like this big UFO. Like it's so impressive. But Chris Bledsoe, I even reached out to him privately because I'm like, I don't, you know, I just want to make sure that like there's nothing, you know, that I'm not, you know, summoning any kind of like evil or whatever. But I mean, it hasn't been that way at all. It hasn't. And again, just look in the Bible, you know, Ezekiel's testimony. I mean, there's so many, Matthew, Mark, they've all had eyewitness testimonies of these kind of things. So I just look at it as these are God's creations. I don't know if it's angelic. I don't know if it's alien, interdimensional. I don't know. I mean, I truly, truly don't know, but I just know that I'm seeing them. They're beautiful. And it's pretty incredible.
See,
if you
I
ask
have
me.
to agree with you there. I have to agree with you wholeheartedly there, because at the end of the day, something greater than us created all of these things.
Yeah.
And if we were created with free will, I mean, just because we can speak and they claim we're the only thing on earth that has consciousness, you know, aware of right, wrong, all that. Even at that, we have free will. So if we were created with free will, wouldn't you think that anything else that has a movement, energy source has free will as well? So, you know, I've often heard the aliens are demons, or they're the fallen angels, they're this, they're that. And I'm like, well, watch this, y'all. At one point, according to the Bible, Satan was good. He was light. He's
the most
still
beautiful,
light.
The most
He's just
beautiful
not lighting the path. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just not lighting the path of authenticity, but he's still bright and he's a light.
Yeah.
So I feel like it could be either. But I also feel that what you are is what you're going to attract in this moment too. And on the energetic level, because we're now we're matching up with things we vibrate with. And I think there's good and bad in all. So I don't think that any of this is demonic or it's all this. I think that we're all having we're all obviously having an experience now.
Well,
what that experience is going to give us.
My confirmation was on February 12th when I was out there praying, thanking God that my daughter wasn't injured, and then seeing that, like, that was just, I felt like it was like divine. It was of God.
Peace.
It was, and it was just, I mean, it truly was. But I mean, and I also think that, a red bird just landed in my tree there. That's always a sign. It's, when I'm thinking about my dad, I always see a cardinal, and it just landed. There's literally right there in the tree. Yeah. So like those little things too, like they may not mean anything to, some people, but for me, it's like, I know what I was just thinking about. And then he was a male cardinal too, that just landed there. So yeah, which is really cool. But, also, I think that the reason that we're seeing so many more videos and so many more people out there sharing their orb, plasmoid, whatever you want to call them, light energies, whatever, all their videos, is because, like with social media, things are just more instantaneous, right? We're getting like instant gratification. It's just constant information out there. And I think more people are seeing them. And so you realize that your eyes are not playing tricks on you. So you're seeing that you're watching hundreds and thousands of people's testimonies and their videos that they're posting. And so I think that more people are, I don't know if the word awakening is maybe the best word for it, but people are, I think that's why they're presenting themselves and they're showing up all over the country so much more, because we're maybe collectively, the human, like we're like, oh, okay, well, we're getting used to this now. We're seeing more and more and more. And so when you're seeing them, you're like, okay, well, I can't deny it. So I'm not going to be like, okay, no, this doesn't exist. I'm more open. And so that's why I think we're seeing them more. Now, I could be completely wrong. I don't have all the answers, but that's actually just what.
That's crazy that you said that. Not crazy but that's pretty much where I was gonna go with that. It's a collective awakening. It's a collective opening of a door. And I also wonder if, because I'm not a stranger to the military creates so many amazing things that we don't, as the general public, realize they even have in play. So, I mean, hologram technology. People think it's so cool to go watch a concert of somebody dead doing a hologram. What they don't realize is the military has been using that technology forever before we knew about it to entertain the people with. So I've heard people say it's a projection, it's a hologram, it's America's or military things that they've created to dupe you. Okay, it might be. I don't know, but at this point I can't deny that there is something up there glowing and glitzing and dancing in the damn sky, and it's not stars. They're not stars, and it's not a drone. I know what a drone looks like. And yet we had a whole lot over Jersey and Philly. These are not drones.
No. So you can take, like, I'll use like the Skyview app, and I pretty much know the celestial map, and so I know like where the planets. I don't know every single star, obviously, but the constellations and stuff, I can pretty much tell you what's what. But I will go out and confirm if I think that I see one that's not a star. You can use the Skyview app to confirm what it is, and they're like, nope, that's not a star, because the Skyview would have picked it up. It's not going to pick up any kind of like UAP kind of stuff at all. So that's what I'll do. And then, and, but I think, and even for people, I think it's awakened a lot of my people and my following and stuff too, because they may not necessarily have witnessed anything like that, or they may not necessarily believe anything like that, but they they know me. They know my heart. They know that I'm a very credible, educated, smart, person, that I'm very authentic. I will never lie or dupe anybody. So they trust me. So it's like, I think it's awakened even more people, because they're like, okay, well, I haven't experienced this, but Tia has, and I trust her, and I've seen her videos and stuff too. But I also think it's going to be interesting when more things do come out, and whatever all of this means. I don't know what all of this means, but I do know that I think that when you mentioned the military and the government, I think they rolled out AI. Like, I think they rolled out AI. I think it was very, very strategic, because we've got all these whistleblowers coming out who have been on crash site retrievals, who have interacted with these interdimensional beings, who have witnessed things. I mean, what about the dude in Brazil who actually was at a crash site and picked up one of the alien, dies 2 weeks later? There's a whole documentary. I haven't watched it yet, but like, this happened, I want to say in the 90s maybe, and the dude got really sick and took him.
Yes, I remember. I briefly remember the story.
It was in Brazil, I believe. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands. Like, you can't deny it, right? But I think, because I don't trust the government and any of that stuff, but I think that they rolled out AI on purpose, to be like the people thinking, that's what I think.
I think there's something to that theory there. I really do, because what is that Keith and I was talking about the other day? You always know it's a psyops if somebody needs to be silenced. And if and social media and the day and age we live in, it's so hard to silence people. So instead, now we just bombard the masses, because think about it. When all that stuff happened in Maui, oh, well, social media had people asking questions in real time. Social media had people finding out that their land, people down here, they're barely surviving. They haven't even began the cleanup. They're still processing, and people trying to steal their land. And you're getting the stories real time. So then what happened? Boom, let's have another big major event that kills, that takes life, so we can just get the shadow off of that. Because we don't have time to discredit you in that psyops way. So we'll just bombard you. So, I mean, could this be that? Maybe. But I'm thankful that I am not one of those people that is like, it's on, no, there's no way it's this. Because that's going to be a hard day. When you can't dispute anything anymore. Like, those are always hard days to come up on, I feel, because I've had them in my life in certain areas about things that I did have a hard line on, and it was like, oh, really? Watch this. Bam.
Yeah.
So it's gonna definitely be interesting before it gets dull, I think. It's gonna get way more interesting first.
And this is a good question for all your viewers, and to really ask yourself, if this stuff, if it didn't exist, why would they need to create a UAP task force? If it didn't exist, why do they have this new disclosure? Why is there a disclosure task force then? Boom. Why do they have, like, if it didn't exist, why then we wouldn't have a need for any of that? So, again, like I said, I was never an Area 51 Roswell type person, but now I kind of am. I've gone down the history of all of it. And I mean, there's just too many documentations, too much out there that you just can't deny. So I don't know what it is, the origin of what, Lala and I have been seeing, but there's something that they love hanging out in my backyard. It's peaceful. I don't know. There's a rock quarry out there. I think there's lots of minerals and
that's what I was just going to tell.
There's just energy.
I was just going to say,
I feel like,
isn't there a lot of minerals and mineral rich area behind your home? Then it makes sense. It makes complete sense why you have such a heavy activity every area around you there. So, oh my gosh, this is.
And I was hesitant.
Cool.
I didn't
Guys,
bring the videos. I didn't post the videos right away because I was like, oh my gosh, people are going to think that I'm crazy. But you know what? Once I started posting them, people that live north of Atlanta, that are here in Georgia, all over, I have been getting hundreds of videos sent to me of my followers to like, look what I saw on my above my house the other night. I mean, I'm seeing everybody else's too. So it's like, wow, like now we feel like we can openly talk about it. And I think it's pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to see what's next, what's to come with it. But I'm open and I'm ready. And like I said earlier, hey, you're safe here. You're welcome. I mean no harm.
And she means that. She really does.
Yeah,
Humans, Galactic Federation, like she's a really
and I'm
cool,
not
chill
afraid.
woman.
I'm a child of God. I'm protected. Like there's nothing. Anyway, I'm good. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, Tia, I want to tell you, like, I think it's pretty brave of you. And I want to applaud you because I know so many people that even though they've seen others talking about it, they still are discounting what they're seeing. They're still doubting themselves and worrying about what will someone think. So I really hope that people seeing and hearing your story today, if they're sitting in that position, it has allowed them to release a level of self-doubt so that they can just step in and, well, be in the experience instead of fighting the experience. So I am so thankful for you and your amazing galactic backyard because I mean, you even for me,
you got to come
even
down
for
here.
Me, I am. You
gotta
already know
plan
it's on my list of trips that are coming. We talked about it earlier in the year. But I got to experience this firsthand because I need to see this backyard.
It's pretty cool.
Feel this backyard. I need to be there. It is like
awesome.
I have seen so many different videos of your property, and it is so I can feel it through the video. So I can only imagine being immersed in its actual energy. So I can't wait to come bask in that with you and your family. But before we depart one another, I would love for you to just tell the people where they can find you and, you know, what it is you honestly do, because this is the first time you've been on my YouTube channel, even though we've shared many different types of lives and things on Facebook and Instagram. So I would love our community to, you know, be able to find you later if they would like to plug in deeper with you.
Well, absolutely. So I'm mainly on Instagram at Tia1971, or you can find me over on Facebook with my name, Tia Dowler. That's primary. I pretty much live in stories. But I just started TikTok. So I'm just now on TikTok. TikTok is really where I'm posting all of the orb, you know, those kind of videos. And it's just Tia Dowler, same as Facebook over on TikTok. But I have a link tree on all my bios, so you can. And I'm pretty much in the beauty business, a serial entrepreneur. I make my own. I've gone all non-toxic, my own face oil, which is amazing. No endocrine disruptors. So I'm in the beauty, health, and wellness. Personal trainer, although I'm in the process of getting my health coach license, so I can do a little bit more than just a personal trainer. So into health, fitness, non-toxic, just living clean and internally, spiritually, emotionally, you know, all the things. So I just kind of share it all really online, share my life, my 5 kids, my cats, you know, all the things. So pretty much Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. So that's where you can find me. And I look forward to connecting with some open-minded people.
Awesome. And you guys already know, if you check the description, you can find all the links. And Tia, thank you also for sharing the footage that you shared with us so that our viewers could see what we're seeing and talking about. Thoroughly appreciate that, because, you know, I'm all about the receipts, not because I need someone to understand, not because I need to prove it happened, just because it allows others to honestly gain a perspective and understanding. So thank you so much for being open and just being willing to see what the heck is this unknown.
I don't know, but I'm here for it. I'm ready. I'm ready. It's like after the last 4 years, I don't know what's going on, but like, get me off this earth. Come on. I'm ready. Beat me up, Scotty.
Listen, I'm right there with you. Yes, that has become my new, like every other Tuesday, I feel like I wake up and I'm like, y'all still ain't came to get me? like every
really,
Tuesday I have that little meltdown. Like, why am I still here?
Yeah. I'm like, I want to go where the
Oh my
lights
gosh.
are. It's so pretty. Like Earth is ratchet and ghetto right now. Let's go there with a pretty, yeah. I'm just kidding.
Yes, for real. Because I bet you they're not paying taxes.
No.
But yeah,
No.
please, let me go with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh. Well, guys, until next time, I know there's going to be more on this. I still have more to come. Tia's not done living, and that backyard's got a whole lot more activity for us all. So until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and remember, you hold the key to your release. Have a beautiful and blessed day.
I see you up there.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of These Are the Times Illuminate channel. Thank you, Tia Dowler, and thank you all for taking time to stay with us as we dove deep into the flashing lights. You know, those orbs that so many of us have been seeing. Are they messages, gateways, or just another mystery slipping through the cracks of what we think we know? Whatever they are, they're showing up for a reason. Stay open, stay aware, and as always, keep questioning everything. Until next time, illuminate, elevate, and stay free.